Hello, I'm Chuck Stiver on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. This is the OhioRAAM Show.
Thank you, Chuck Stiver, for that introduction. Chuck often travels with me to race events and other events as my videographer, driver, carrier of equipment, whatever needs to be done, and also a good friend and a lot of good fellowship with him. And thank you very much, Chuck, for everything you do. And if you happen to see Chuck at some event handling the camera, well, just please say thank you to him, for he does a great job. We appreciate that very much. And as Chuck said, this is the OhioRAAM Show, coming to you from Southwest Ohio. The OhioRAAM Show is a show about cycling and ultracycling, and we are sponsored by the first two time stations in the Race Across America in the state of Ohio, Time Stations 41 at Oxford, Ohio, and Time Stations 42 at Blanchester, Ohio. These time stations are open 24 hours a day, where you can have 24-hour food, 24-hour fuel, and 24-hour fans. If you're interested in the Race Across America, live anywhere in the Midwest, this is a great place to come. There will be places there for you, people there for you, who can give you information on the race, what's happening, and if you're new to the race, they can tell you how it works and get you interested in this great event. And the times for this year's race, you see it on the screen there. The race starts this year in Oceanside, California on June the 14th. The teams start on June the 18th. The OhioRAAM time stations are opening on a 24-hour basis on Tuesday, June the 21st, and will stay open around the clock till Saturday, the 25th of June, and everybody passes through the race. I'm also splashing up here on the screen a list of other staff time stations where you can go and be with other like-minded people who watch the race. And hello again. My name is Lee Kreider, host of the OhioRAAM Show, and today's show is a bargain. You get two for the price of one. We don't offer many bargains on the OhioRAAM Show, but today we do. First off, we're going to have an update on the Cycling for Autism team, Craig Thompson and Sandy Taylor. Craig and Sandy were on the show about a year and a half ago, and they were planning on being a two-person mixed team in the 2015 Race Across America. Well, Sandy severely injured her knee, and that put them out of commission. And we wanted to do an update on them and talk a little bit about how Sandy is doing with her rehabilitation, their plans to be in RAAM 2016, and a little bit more about their program for raising funds for a program to deal with autism. Great charity they support. And then after they're on, we're going to bring on Julian Eisenbeis from Germany, who will be a rookie in the solo Race Across America 2016 this year. So let's head on over to West Lafayette, Indiana, the campus of Purdue University, where we have Craig and Sandy, both on the faculty there, teaching veterinary medicine, and welcome them back to the show once again.
And so we're going over to West Lafayette, Indiana. I've heard already there's some kind of school over there of some kind, isn't there?
Purdue?
Purdue. I might have heard of that. I went up to school in northern Indiana, and I think I might have heard
It's a small place.
For a second, I
Yeah,
thought.
I might have heard that sometime.
Well,
Well,
you had me
we,
there
ought to,
for a
we ought
second.
to start seriously here, but we ought to tell you who we are. We're going over to Purdue to East Lafayette, Indiana, and with Sandy, Taylor, and Craig Thompson. Let's get serious here, folks. We don't want to have too much fun. Sandy, tell me about yours. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
We're going to get back to that in a little bit because you had a little story to tell. But and Craig, how's it going with you?
Doing great. Thanks.
So, Craig, tell me a little about yourself and how you got to be where you're at now as far as ultra cycling.
Well, so I'm a professor at Purdue University, and I started riding bikes a long time ago. Just using, my dirt bike, my little Huffy that I got from Walmart, and I kind of gradually moved up to road biking somewhere in undergrad, and kind of fell in love with it then, and just sort of got a little bit nicer bikes, did a little bit more riding, and once I got to Purdue with a lot more empty roads to use, I kind of got into some of the more longer events. And here I am doing a very, very long event.
You got to ride through all those cornfields over there, didn't you?
Yeah, there's long straight stretches, so you can really get a lot of miles and not see the same thing.
I do have to say that my younger son was actually admitted to Purdue School of Engineering, and we went over there and visited. We weren't unimpressed with the school. It's just some of the policies were a little better where he was. So he eventually went to some other school, which I won't mention. But it's a good school, no question about it. So, Sandy, you're a teacher at Purdue as well.
Yes. Yep. In the veterinary hospital.
Both of you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. And we had you on the show better than a year ago as you were preparing for the Race Across America as a two-person mixed team in 2015, but you got waylaid a little bit, and we thought we'd just do an update, get back to you, since you're a next-door neighbor to ours, and tell us. So this all happened to you, Sandy. What happened?
Well, so we went to Texas Hell Week, and that was last March. And after about 3 days of riding, I started having pain in my right knee, and it just kept getting worse and worse. So I stopped riding, wasn't able to finish riding out the rest of the event. And then, to make a long story short, it took about 9-10 months to get the correct diagnosis. Finally have that now and have had surgery and am ready to start riding again and get back into it. So it did take a while. It was a bit frustrating, but luckily I was able to keep riding even though I was doing rehab. First, they thought it was a joint problem. Then it looked like a tendon problem. And finally, it looks like it was a patellar bursa issue. So they took that out, and hopefully it'll be smooth sailing from here.
Well, I know those joints can create you a lot of problems, and I had a little run-in with a skier once that I've had to deal with for the last 40 years.
You were also skiing.
Yes, I was skiing, and there was a sort of a collision, and
No.
it wasn't my fault, though. Well, enough about me. So, how's the rehab going then, Sandy? You just had the procedure done not too long ago, didn't you?
Yeah, and it's going well. Luckily, during the 10 months of not having the right diagnosis, I was in physical therapy, so at least getting stronger and still being able to ride. And now just getting back into it. And my physical therapist is great. He's down in Indianapolis, and he's very aggressive, which I like. And we're working well together to try to get back into this. So he's always known that this was my goal since I saw him in, I guess it was June when I first went to see him. And I've seen him every 1 to 2 weeks since June. And so I think we're finally on the right track.
And I believe I saw on your Facebook that you've been under the tender, loving care of your mother. Is that right?
Yes. She flew from Washington State to babysit me during the time of surgery and the post-op care and rehab. So it was fantastic. It was great to see her, and a good excuse for her to come out and spend a couple weeks out here. So yeah, that was great. But she's back home. So now had to drive a couple, gosh, I guess it was 10 days after surgery, and it's my right leg. So that was a bit challenging, but so far so good. No disasters, no wrecks.
I saw some of the pictures of her cooking. How much weight did you gain?
Yeah, really. I know. I said, Mom, we have to eat healthy. You know, we're going to be sitting around, not doing much. And she just, it was great, but she's used to the comfort food for sure. So, but I think it was only 3 pounds, honestly. I did check. So could have been worse.
That's always a temptation. When I kind of hung up the bicycle, I put on a few pounds.
Yeah.
Well, I know that one of your goals is you call yourself, well, what's the name of your team, Craig?
It's Cycling for Autism.
And tell me about what your goal is as far as autism is concerned, and how did you get involved in that?
Well, when we started this crazy plan, one of the things that we really wanted to do as a team was to have some type of charity to basically fly their banner, and also helps with donations so that they can help us help the firm. And so my sister Claire, she is a co-founder for a center in my hometown in Oklahoma. It's called Paths to Independence, and basically it's a combination school as well as some adult programs. And I mean, the name is really very apt, that it really provides an avenue for these individuals to be able to basically integrate into life and be able to be as independent as possible for themselves. And it's a really great cause, and it's a very identifiable logo. I mean, you can probably see it on our shirts. This is our crew shirt here, and so the puzzle piece logo is integrated into our logo on the jersey as well as the shirt. Very identifiable. And so it's, we were flying the flag for autism, and specifically for our school.
There's been an awful lot of news and that I've heard recently on public radio, particularly on autism. Seems to be getting a lot of attention right now.
Well, I mean, it's sort of, it kind of ebbs and flows as far as how high on the press feed you see it, but it's been there for a long time. If you look for it, and yes, it does kind of, it swells and kind of goes under the headlines when the political campaigns heat up. It gets buried a little bit, and then it comes back when things calm down.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for things to calm down.
Well, just a few more months of insanity, and then we'll start the real insanity, I guess.
Well, we won't go. We are banning politics from this show for the season.
Good policy.
So, Sandy, how can people support your cause?
Well, definitely going to our website. We're at cyclingforautism.com. We do have a way to donate through our website, and we also have those links on the Race Across America website, the www.raceacrossamerica.org. And just, I would say, gosh, besides donation, just we're trying to raise awareness for autism and autism spectrum disorder. So even any chance that we get to talk about it raises awareness. So we try to talk about it. We're reaching out for donations, but also just to talk to people about the cause and about the school. But definitely checking out our website would be a great way to help us out and help out the school, the Paths to Independence School in Oklahoma.
On the website, or below your picture right now, you will see a link to that website. You won't see a link, but you'll see the website listed there. And if you're watching the show on the website, OhioRAAMshow.com, I'll put a link to that Cycling for Autism. Is that .com or?
Yes.
Yeah, .com on the on the show notes right below the video there, you'll be able to see that. And we would encourage people to drop in there and give you a few bucks or a lot of bucks, whichever.
Yes, please.
We'll take small and large. That's what we say at the church. Sandy, I hear the word spectrum a lot with autism, and I guess I'm not sure I understand what that is. What's that mean when we talk about the spectrum?
Well, I'm definitely no expert on autism, but just spectrum meaning that there are varying degrees of severity of autism. So Asperger's is often included in this autism spectrum disorder, which is more of a highly functioning type of autism. But again, I'm no expert on the actual condition, but they typically will discuss it as a spectrum just because there are so many different levels of severity and functioning ability with that syndrome.
Exactly.
It seems to me what I've heard talking about on the NPR the other day was that maybe that there was a lot more, as they learn more about it, more people are diagnosed as being somewhere in that spectrum.
Correct.
So, Craig, you're a two-person team. What kind of strategy do you have for alternating? A two-person is a little harder to do than 4 or 8.
Yeah, we've done quite a bit of research and talking to people who have done both solo and as well as team 2, 4, and 8-person teams. And we've sort of set on, we have a plan, which of course will go pretty much out the tubes in a couple of days, but talking to people who have done it before, we're looking to start with a 2-hour shift, basically back and forth 2 hours. And that allows us to, not burn ourselves out. And also when you're in our sleep time, we have time to, towel off, get real food, and then sleep for an entire REM cycle, so that you're basically not going sleep deprived for 8 or 9 straight days. You actually do get some genuine sleep. So that's a plan right now. And of course, obviously everything's adaptable as we get going, but we're starting with a 2-hour shift and go from there.
Well, let's hope that you were lucked out as far as delaying and you won't run into that horrible heat that they had last year.
Well, we have some strategies, and one of our sponsors is there's basically he designed a cooling system to where if you jump in a tub of ice water when you're really hot, you eventually will lose your heat, just through the transmission through your skin into the ice water. But the vessels on the periphery will constrict down, slowing that process. And so we have a device basically that it uses vacuum, and I didn't invent it, but it uses vacuum and cold to stay vasodilated, allowing the heat to come out much, much faster. So we're going to get that this spring and experiment some with it and use that when we're in the van in our sleep time to cool down much, much faster. And so that's kind of hopefully our ace in the hole, but we'll experiment with it some.
Well, if you get that together and working, shoot me a little video of it. I'd be interested in seeing that.
Well, if you look on the website, it's listed under our major sponsors. The major sponsors have their logos on there. It's called Core Control. It's actually a patented device and used by some professional athletes, which we are not. But we also get hot, so we're going to try it.
Well, that sounds like an interesting sort of gimmick. So what kind of training regimen are you involved in now, especially you, Sandy? Are you training fully or just taking it easy yet, or what?
Well, I'm still in the rehab part post-surgery, but before this, we actually were training on trainers and indoor mostly, but we did go down to Houston about a month ago and rode outside for 4 or 5 days, and that was really great. So it was nice to be on the road. So yeah, I am slowly ramping back up. Craig's been hitting it hard for quite a while now. So, but mostly indoor trainer, gym, gym bikes, that sort of thing. So
we had 5 inches of snow 2 weeks ago, so we're in that Indiana transition time between. Yesterday it was 75 and I got to ride outside. Today it's 40 and rainy, so hopefully we get more 75 days and start to get outside, and also the days are getting a little bit more light.
Yeah, and daylight savings time this weekend, so that'll be nice.
thank you for dropping in and getting us updated here. And we wish you all the best, even though you do come from Purdue.
Well, it was great to see you too, Lee.
Well, good luck to you, and we hope that knee works out well for you, and everything gets along. So
Thank you
thanks
so
again
much.
for being with us. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go over to see Julian Eisenbeis in Germany, who will be, as we said, a rookie in RAM 2016 as a solo writer this year. I have to say, before we go to Julian, we had a lot of trouble with the feed from him. There was a lot of interruptions, and we had to do a lot of trimming and cutting, and we reduced the size of the recording we made of him quite a bit, and we apologize for that, Julian. There was nothing we could do about it. So it's happy to bring Julian. I have to say that Julian is a person of few words, but the words he uses mean a lot. So let's head on over to Germany and Julian. Hello, Julian.
I'm very well, thank you.
And if I butchered your name up there, I'm sorry. But whereabouts in Germany are you located right now?
And Black Forest, somewhere southwest of Germany, close to Switzerland and France.
Next to Switzerland and France. Well,
Famous for blue clocks and Black Forest got to it, and now everybody should know it.
well, I'm glad to have you with us today, and you're going to be riding in the Race Across America 2016, as I understand it. But before we get into that, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. Tell me a little about yourself and the interesting work you do. I have it here in the CV, but I find it fascinating. So what is it you do?
It's more what I did. I resigned for end of year. I'm a professional ultra cyclist now, but last 3 years I worked on a seismic vessel, just basically nothing else than in an office, just on a boat. And I was on a ship for 5 weeks looking at screens, and then I went off and had 5 weeks off afterwards.
And what exactly were you studying?
I studied geophysics, and yeah, what we did on the ship, we were basically looking for oil. So there was some kind of source behind it, some cables, and yeah, what we did was processing the data, just to keep it simple.
And I think maybe keep it understated a little bit,
Yeah.
But yeah, I know we were trying to get in touch with one another, and you were at sea a lot, so it made it a little difficult. So we caught you at home in Germany for a while, and you said you're going to give yourself to cycling for a while. Is that correct?
So I just didn't understand anything. Connection, probably.
Okay. You said that you had resigned your job. Are you giving yourself over to cycling now?
Yeah, for next half year, or however long it takes to finish RAM, and then we'll need a new job again. So we'll see where I end up, and hopefully not on a ship again. It was nice 3 years, but I'm looking for something more normal now.
And think you'd like to settle in Germany then, when you're done?
We'll see. I'm basically happy to move anywhere in the world. So
Wherever the opportunity takes you, huh? I gather you're single, Julian?
yeah, got the wrong job for a relationship. It's been traveling all the time or working on a ship. So it was fun, yeah, but not the right job for a relationship.
Well, it's kind of hard to be a sailor and have an ongoing relationship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Julian, tell me a little bit about how you got into cycling. I know you've done some other things besides that, but how you happened to fall into that particular sport?
It's long time ago. It's basically when it became a bit more famous in Germany, with Jan Ulrich being pretty big in pro races, and it was around the time when Team Telekom was really big. And when I started cycling, first with some normal races, and then slowly got into ultra cycling over the years.
I think you're back with us.
Happens.
Yes, I had a little glitch there, folks. I had to trim that out, but I told Julian before we started that it's the internet and it's free. So what can you say? We just have these things, these moments happen. Tell me a little about some of your competitive cycling. What have you done in that regard, Julian?
Yeah, I mean, in normal races, it was basically local races, and as a highlight of my, let's say, normal racing career was Tour de Kosovo. It was a short stage race in some bit more exotic country. Yeah, for ultra cycling was most of the time then 24-hour races in around here. During my university times, I was in a pretty tight budget, so there was not too much money to do anything else than try to combine traveling and racing a bit. So did a lot more races overseas and some more, let's say, interesting races like in India or New Zealand recently.
Okay, and now I noticed you have done some racing in the United States before, have you not?
Yeah, I've been in, when was it, September, October for a few weeks. It was it in Texas 500, week afterwards Natchez race, and then the week afterwards a double century in California. So I had to use these 4 weeks I had in the US. So.
You did the Natchez Trace back there, a sign on the wall.
Yep.
What I see here, you've had some firsts, some seconds, some thirds. You've done pretty well, haven't you?
Yeah, happens. I mean, I spend more, and you can't avoid to get better and end up somewhere on the podium, which is nice, of course.
How did you happen to pick the race across America? Where did you hear about it, and what attracted you to it?
It's a good question. I mean, first time I heard about it was probably when.
No, it's okay. I'm here.
Okay. Just was confused. First time I heard about it was probably when Wolfgang Fasching won it back somewhere around 2000. And yeah, he's probably famous in Austria in terms because the first time I heard about OhioRAAM, and back then just thought there's some crazy freaks doing that. And yeah, with time I got more and more into ultra cycling. More dream or goal of me, and I mean, it's no doubt the biggest challenge in our sport. So that's the reason. So yeah, over the last years, I had a chance to save enough money. So it's 2016 now. So this year is the year to try it. Wolfgang Fasching was.
Fasching. Okay, yeah.
I mean, Christoph Strasser is doing really well, and I follow him. But it's when he started to be successful was more or less already when I was into ultra cycling and doing races.
So you go back to the days of Fasching, and we remember him well. But so you're planning on Race Across America 2016. How's your crew shaping up? Have you got a crew? Do you need crew?
Yeah, I hope I have a good crew. We'll have a few crew meetings, and we'll see how it goes.
And have you any persons on your crew who have been in RAAM before?
No, sadly not. All rookie crew. But I'm in contact with David Misch, who's helping a lot. If you remember, when was it? I think 2013, 14 Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I know some guys. Dr. Sevi Zotta a bit. I have some persons helping me, but in the end, we're all rookie crew and rookie rider.
Okay. Have you had much experience? Well, you've done some 24 hours and some 500 milers. How do you think you're going to deal with the sleep deprivation? It's more than just one night.
Yeah, I mean, the longest one I did was race around Austria. We got to something close to 5 days there. That's
okay.
Maybe half what we expected, around half what we hopefully have in RAAM. So got a a bit of taste of the sleep deprivation after second or third night. I guess we'll see how it goes in the race.
So, what kind of a sleep pattern would you anticipate in the best of all worlds?
Hopefully something around 90 minutes per night, good enough. Can always put in a nap during afternoon or during day, but I hope I'll get on something 90 minutes, 2 hours per night.
What kind of a training program are you doing? It's cold in Germany now, and you riding inside, riding outside. What are you doing?
It was relatively warm till around yesterday. So been mainly riding outside since I came home last week, and since yesterday we have snow outside. So I've been on my skis today, and on Sunday I'll fly to Spain for a 3.5-week training camp. Should be something nice, 15 to 20 degrees down there. So nice to ride outside then. And in February I'll be in Sebring for a 24-hour race.
Okay.
And I hope when I come back it's a bit better, warmer weather here. We'll see about that. Probably it's still 2 meters snow or something.
So you're planning on Sebring. That's in February, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, around 13th.
Yeah, something like that. And you'll have the opportunity to meet a lot of people there that know their way around the ultra cycling world.
Yeah, I've been there 2 years ago, and it wasn't my best race. After 15 hours, something, I just stopped riding. So I'll have to come back and do a better race this time.
Well, what there's many a slip in the race across America. You never know what's going to happen. But have you got any goal? Any time frame that you're thinking about, or?
I would be absolutely happy with anything that gets to finish in less than 12 days. I'll try to be fast, and we'll see how fast we can go, but anything that finishes it would make me extremely happy.
We wish you well, Julian. Hope to see you here in Ohio.
I hope to get there. It would be nice.
Well, we're not that far. We're about 2,400 miles into the race here. So we're here to give you a little moral boost right before you hit the infamous mountains of West Virginia, which can be a discouraging thing to a lot of people. And we'll try to boost you along our way, because we're open 24 hours a day here. And regardless of when you come through, there'll be somebody at these 2 time stations to cheer you on.
Thanks for that.
Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Something else, anything else interesting in my life? Just spend it cycling around. That's all. Pretty boring. Cycling around on ships. That's the most boring things to do.
Thank you so much for being with us today, and we'll be looking forward. We'll be watching your progress really carefully, and hope you do really well. And now that we're getting down to the end of the show, Julian, your picture's cleared up nicely, and everything seems to be working. But it's just one of those crazy things we have to deal with here. But we want to thank you for being with us. Good luck to you, and maybe we'll catch you along the way and get a little face-to-face video of you as you're going through.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I hope to see you in Ohio.
We wish Julian the very best.
And we thank you, Julian, for taking your time to be with us today. And I had an email from Julian saying he might have a little more news about some of his racing, and we'll be looking forward to hearing from him on that. We want to take this time to thank everyone who supports the show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing on social media. Thank you for giving us likes on social media. Also on the website of the show, OhioRAAMshow.com, you'll find a lot of information. You'll see what future shows are coming up there. In the links section, lower right-hand side, as you scroll down, you'll see links for information about ultra cycling, about the race across America, and other things there that relate to ultracycling. Again, at the top of the screen, you'll see links to our Facebook page, our Google Plus page. You'll see links to Time Stations 41 and 42's Facebook pages there. Again, thank you. We're happy to have you with us. And goodbye.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.